Hello YouTube, my name is Allison Phillips Bean and welcome to my second makeup tutorial. In this video I am using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette as well as some Makeup Geek foiled shadows where I show you how I got this really pretty purple and gold eye. I get compliments on this look every single time that I wear it. And if you want to meet my little pup Lady Belle and my husband, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm going to start out by priming my face using the Nivea Post Shave Balm, and thank you so much Nikki Tutorials for turning me on to this. I just work it really well into my skin and make sure that it absorbs everywhere. For foundation today, I am using the Too Faced Born This Way. I really like this foundation. It's not too matte, it's not too dewy, it's just perfect, looks a lot like skin. And then I am going to take any kabuki brush and just buff that into my skin. Now I'm taking my favorite Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I work that in triangle shapes under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, in the center of my forehead, around my nose, and on my chin. And then I take a damp Real Technique sponge and buff that in. I like to also go over my foundation as well. It makes the foundation look more like skin. Now for my creamed contour, I'm taking the NYX Wonder Stick in the shade Light Medium, and I'm just going to map out my contour on my face with this and then buff it in using my Real Technique sponge. Now that all my cream products are done, I'm going to be going in with my powders. I'm going to start by setting my concealer using my highlight and contour palette with NYX, using the white and the yellow shades and a tapered brush. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pat this in. I'm not going to brush it on because that's going to move my product around. And then I also go over my eyes with this as well. Then I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me powder in any powder brush, and then I'm just going to set the rest of my foundation. Now just to warm up my face, I'm using my NARS Laguna bronzer, and I'm just going to hit that on the high points of my face where the sun would naturally hit it. For powder contour, I'm using the NYX Blush and Taupe in my mini NARS Ita brush. It is like the perfect cool toned shade. It doesn't go on too like splotchy or anything, and it's really buildable to get it to the shade that you desire. For blush, I'm using my favorite MAC Warm Soul, and then I'm taking a Morphe G5 brush and working it in onto the apples of my cheeks and then buffing that back. And then I like to go in with any powder brush and just go over that so it's not too strong. Now for highlight, I'm using Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop, of course, going on the tops of my cheeks, and then I'm going to touch it on the tip of my nose and then on the bridge of my nose and then on my Cupid's bow as well. For brows, I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe, and I start out by tracing the shape of my eyebrows that I want and then creating little hair-like strokes in between. Sometimes I want a little more natural brow, and this is what I do. And my eyebrows don't really grow in the center, they just never have. And so I go in and I create little hair-like strokes right there in the center. I try not to go too crazy and just make it look really natural, and this pencil does a really good job at that. Now I wanted him to look a little more hairy and natural, so I'm taking the other shade in ash brown and I'm just drawing in some sparse little hairs. And then of course I'm setting my brows using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Okay, and now it's on to eyeshadow. Here is the eyeshadow palette. It's Jaclyn Hill Favorites by Morphe, and I'm going to start out by using this big fluffy brush in these two shades here, and I'm just going to work that into my crease as my transition shade, really to make sure that I blend this out. This is a really important step in the blending process. Then I'm going to take this smaller blending brush in this warm brown shade in the center of the palette, and I'm just going to deepen up that crease a little bit. I'm not going to take that color up as far, but this also helps with the blending. Now I'm taking this crease brush and I'm using the dark purple shade and then the bright purple shade, mixing those together, and I'm going to work them in to the outer half of my eye. Now that I've finished buffing all of that in, I'm going to take that smaller blending brush and I'm just going to go around that to make sure it's all blended, and I'm going to take a pencil brush and that same middle brown shade and the bright purple shade, and I'm going to buff that in under my eyes. And then I'm going to take that big fluffy brush again and just go around everything and make sure it's all blended. Oh, this poor eyeshadow is broken like 5 times, but this is the Makeup Geek Foiled Shadow in Magic Act. It is the perfect gold. I love it. Now I'm just going to go back in with the purple shade to darken it up, and then I'm going to go in with my finger and tap on that gold shadow to make it more intense. Now I'm going to do a winged eye today, and I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Liner pen. It's such a good pen. It reminds me a lot of the Kat Von D pen. And I start out by creating that line on the outside of my eye where I want the angle to be, and then I go in along my lash line, and then I just draw a straight line. I'm sorry you can't see it very well, but I just draw the straight line and then I connect it, and then I just fill it all in. Now, to make my eyes look bigger, I'm going to use the Rimmel Exaggerate pencil in the color In the Nude, and I'm going to run that in my waterline. And then for my mascara, I'm going to use my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on my upper eyelashes. And for my lower lashes, I'm taking MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. It's the perfect little brush to get all those little eyelashes, and it does not transfer onto my concealer below my eyes. Now to highlight my brow bone, I'm taking MAC Pro Emphasize, and you could honestly use just any white eyeshadow. This is just what was closest to me. Now for eyelashes, I'm taking the Ardell Demi Wispies. They're the perfect natural looking eyelashes. I cut them into 3 pieces because it's more comfortable for my eyes because I wear contacts. It makes the lash line not as stiff, and then my eyes don't water as much throughout the day and they don't get as dry. Now to highlight the inner corner of my eye, I'm going to use the Becca highlighter in Opal and just any small brush and just buff that in there. Now for lips, I am going to be taking the Rimmel lip pencil in the color Wine, and I'm just going to be outlining the shape of my lips and then shading them in just slightly. And now for my lipstick, I am taking the Maybelline Color Blur Cream Matte Pencil in the color My Magenta, and it's such a pretty pink color. I love this lipstick. And then I'm just going to set my face using the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Setting Spray. And then that is it, you guys. My makeup look is complete. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. If you like this video and want to see more, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below and subscribe. Now for the best part, if you want to meet my husband and my pup, just stay tuned.
We represent, we're Seahawks family. We are? Yep. In the face. Slimy dog. Yeah, Mom thinks he's funny, huh? Mm. Lady, is that a great hiding spot? Are you hiding your bone? Yeah? Yeah, your face is all messed up. You find a good spot for your bone. It's really hard. Really hard to find a good spot for your bone. I mean, look at how intense this is. Oh, dang.